A Texas anesthesiologist, Raynaldo Rivera Ortiz Jr., with a history of professional discipline and several past brushes with the law, has now been arrested for allegedly injecting nerve-blocking and bronchodilatating drugs into patient IV bags at a local surgical center, resulting in at least one death and multiple cardiac emergencies, according to the U.S. Department of Justice. In June, Dr. Melanie Kaspar died, according to the investigation against Mr. Ortiz. Hey, everybody, and welcome to the True Crime Squad. This is Katie Weaver. I'm here with my sister, co host, and partner in crime, Christy Brower. Hello.
Hello, and I'm here with my sidekick, Sandy.
I see Sandy Kitty needed to
Mhm.
join the show.
She generally, if she can sneak into my office in time, yes, she's a huge fan of being on camera. She does it to me and Rhonda every time we do anything with video. She's right there.
I love it. There's a Basset Corgi at my feet right now who would also
Uh-huh,
be on camera if there's any way she could get up here, but
for sure.
blessedly she cannot. Well, this is our Monday episode. So, how
Yes.
are ya? How's it going?
Good, it's going okay. We had to let our oldest kitty go to heaven, and that was really hard. She's
Yes, I'm
17,
sorry.
17 and a half, actually.
Yeah.
And I was present for her birth. I knew her from moment one through her entire
Yes.
life. And she was such a sweet, sweet girl, our little Spree. And yeah, she was ready.
Yeah, she was.
It
Darn it.
sucks when you know it's time, you know.
Yep.
Ugh,
Yep. One of my biggest complaints on this planet. Why don't our cats and dogs live longer?
right, right.
Yeah,
Oh, Sanders is in here making it all better, though.
that's right. She's
So if you
got your
hear
back.
purring in my microphone, she's a big fan of rubbing her face up on my microphone while she purrs.
Yeah,
So
well,
you'll get some of that at some point, I'm sure.
maybe we all need some kitty therapy today. We'll take it.
Right?
Well, good. Well, I know that you have a missing person spotlight to kick us off.
I do.
All right, let's do it.
All right. So there is a woman who is missing. If I can find my, here we go. Her name is Leonor Enriquez. Um, and she is missing from Colorado Springs. She is 59. She's been missing since this past Sunday, the 11th. So missing since September 11th.
Okay.
Um, she took the trash out around 8 p.m. and said she was going to take a walk. Now, the thing you need to know about Lenore is that she has early onset dementia,
Mm,
and her family is absolutely upside down over this. They are terrified. She doesn't take off. This is not the kind of thing that has happened with her before.
oh, dear.
And yeah, she's been missing a week now,
Yeah.
and they don't have any idea where she is.
Oh, no.
She also struggles with some mental health issues. It sounds like, she's in need of medication that she's not getting,
Mm-hmm.
and she has just vanished out of thin air. I'm going to
Oh,
show you a picture of Lenore. This is Lenore. And so, Colorado Springs, Colorado, if you have seen this woman, call the police immediately. They do consider her to be an endangered adult,
uh-huh.
and her family just wants to know where she is and know that she's okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, how terrifying.
So there's not a ton about her story. I would like to tell more about her, but this is one of those situations where every article says the same thing. And
Yeah.
I haven't seen any helicopters or search parties other than her family. So I wanted to give her
Yeah.
case a boost so that, you know, people are aware that she
Yeah,
is missing.
absolutely. Well, and because she's young and pretty, you may not recognize that she's in a mental health crisis or an
Right.
emotional health crisis, or a cognitive health crisis. So you may mistake her for not what you think you're looking for.
For sure, for sure. But it does sound like that, she can get confused easily because of
Yeah.
her the early onset dementia. So if you're in Colorado Springs
Mm.
and you see this woman, please call the police right away, and help her family and help her get back to where she needs to be.
Early onset dementia in young people is so scary.
It is.
There's actually a little girl right here in our area in Southeast Idaho. That's I believe she's 9, who
Hmm.
has childhood Alzheimer's.
Oh my gosh.
It's really, really rare. And
Yeah,
it
I would
started, I
imagine.
think, in January-ish that she just started like going backwards in development. And that's what her family has to witness and expect. It is something else.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, this last weekend there was a big fundraiser for her marathon to try to put some money
Oh,
together for her family because there's no way in the world mom can work. She's a
yeah.
full-time job and a half.
Oh, I'll
It's
bet.
requiring a lot of professional help as well as, 24-hour care and it's something.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yikes. Well, lots of love to Lenore and her family, and we just
Yes,
hope that she's found very soon.
absolutely. Okay.
Well, I will kick the mic back to you for our main case.
Yeah. All right. So this is a case coming out of Texas, and we're talking about an anesthesiologist named Raynaldo Rivera Ortiz Jr. or Ray Ortiz. Uh,
Hmm.
and Ray's been up to some shit. So Ray's been up to stuff for a while, and we'll get there. But the latest is that in May, he was put on notice that he was being investigated for some decisions that he made in a procedure that he broke protocol and things did
Mm,
not go well. And he
yikes.
was really pissed off about it, really defiant, told another coworker that this was, they were just trying to crucify him and that, financially it would absolutely destroy him if he didn't have a job or that job, like just got really upset and defensive. So that was in May.
Yikes.
Well, starting in June, some weird things started happening in the surgical center that he works at. People
Mm,
started having like really out of the blue reactions to a saline bag.
what?
And yeah, and all of them were like cardiac events, serious cardiac events.
From a
And
saline drip? Ooh.
yeah. And then at the end of June, one of the other doctors that he works with, this lovely Casper lady, was Melanie Kaspar, was sick. She was sick at work. And
Hmm.
she took a saline bag home with her to give herself an antibiotic or a drip, not antibiotic, but to give
Hmm.
herself some hydration. She was severely dehydrated.
Hmm.
And it took no time after hooking herself up to that bag for her to die.
Oh no. Oh my God.
She had a major heart attack and died. She
Oh
was in her mid
God.
50s. She was healthy.
Uh,
She was a doctor that worked there. She was a wonderful, wonderful person. Reading her obituary is just heartbreaking because she was so beloved by everybody around her, and this was completely out of left field
the
and
blue.
totally
Oh,
senseless. But then more cardiac events happened, and it was always after someone had received a saline bag. So they started wondering what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
So an internal investigation started, and then of course law enforcement got involved. But basically, what their CCTV cameras are showing is Ray Ortiz walking out to the bag warmer. They have an apparatus, a machine that they put the bags in to warm them up a little before they
Mm-hmm.
go into the patients, with saline bags and dropping them off in there, which is weird. He has no need to be doing that. It's not really his job, but he's been
Right.
doing that. And so some of the cameras, at certain instances, he put a bag in. Shortly thereafter, a nurse took a bag out, went into a patient's room, and then within no time at all, that patient was in some kind of a cardiac event.
Oh, holy shit.
They have several instances, according to the probable cause affidavit, where he was the last person to touch that bag. So, of course, they started testing, the medical materials, of course, with the doctor as well, to try to figure out, because she had all of this like anesthetic medication in her system that she should not have had.
Mm-hmm.
And so did other people. So they figured out, of course, that they were coming from the bags. They also had discovered pinpricks in the bags, and eventually came to the conclusion that he was the one doing it. There was also an instance where a nurse in the middle of surgery went to get him another saline bag and brought one from that warmer, and he shoved it off and refused to take it and went and got his own, which she thought was very weird. And all summer long, he's been providing his own bags for surgery. He's been picking them up and bringing them in, which isn't his
What?
job.
No.
And none of the other anesthesiologists do that, but he's been doing that.
Mm,
So then a deeper dive into who is this dude is
right?
pretty freaking chilling, because he has a long history of domestic violence.
Mm,
Yeah, not a good dude. It's
mm-mm.
really concerning and upsetting to look into his past and think that this is the guy who's been taking care of people. I mean, to me, the anesthesiologist holds your life in the palm of his hand, in
Yeah.
surgery. And this is the guy who has had no problem hitting women,
Mm.
who also had charges a few years ago for shooting his neighbor's dog.
Oh, no.
Why did he shoot his neighbor's dog? Well, his girlfriend was trying to leave him after some domestic incidences, and the
Mm-hmm.
neighbor helped her get out of there. So, in retaliation, he shot her dog in the chest with a pellet gun.
Oh,
And the dog lived, actually.
good.
But it was a really scary experience. And that neighbor said that he had a history of being very aggressive with the neighbors and also of shooting other animals in his yard with that gun.
Oh, my God.
Like, it's just really freaking concerning, you
Yeah.
know, that all of this is happening. Some of his victims, the doctor's the only one that died. The rest of them all ended up just, like not just, but in the ICU, having to be, sent to an emergency hospital. I mean, this was a surgical center,
Yeah.
So we're talking about people that were had to be transported to emergency rooms, to ICUs, bigger hospitals, things like that. They've
Yeah.
all lived, but have had severe trauma, and who knows? They easily could have lifelong injuries from what he did to them.
Mm.
But some of them were like, the youngest was 18 years old.
Oh, no.
The oldest was a man in his 70s that came in for a wrist surgery and ended up in deep shit. Why?
Mm.
Oh, well, because he was poisoned.
Yikes. Wow.
So he was just arrested on Thursday. He has not been charged with murder, though I suspect that he will be, uh, in the case of the doctor. But at this point, it looks like he's been charged for uh, tampering with medical materials So tampering with a consumer product and tampering with a consumer product, causing death and or serious bodily injury.
Mm.
Okay. All in all, it looks like there's about 7 charges. So, and there may be more coming as well, but that's what we know so far. When he got the misdemeanor for shooting his neighbor's dog, he didn't report it to the Department of Medicine, which doctors are required to do.
For sure.
And he got a little slap on the wrist and a $2,000 fine. Earlier in his career, he also was in legal trouble for domestic violence and then received a $3,000 fine.
Mm.
What? I I'm kind of blown away that somebody with this kind of a record and history has been allowed to continue to practice as a doctor anyway. But
Yeah.
maybe I'm just naive. I'm just amazed that this is even happening at all.
Well, harm toward others should, I mean, as a social worker, if I were to receive, you know, a charge, not just a charge, but a conviction that would be harm toward others, that would wipe me out from being a social worker. I mean, you don't,
Right?
so I can't imagine that a doctor, an anesthesia doctor, wouldn't have the same rules,
I
you
know.
know?
One would think so. So his medical license has currently been temporarily withdrawn, suspended until further investigation, which I would kind
Thank
of assume
heavens.
he's never getting that back. But the whole thing is just really scary and sad. So sad for Dr. Casper's family,
Oh,
that have
God.
gone through this nightmare. So then you have to come down to motive. Why the hell would anyone do this? Well,
Mhm.
they don't know for sure, but it's looking like this was kind of a case of wanting to make the other anesthesiologist mess up to take some of the heat and pressure off of him.
Mm.
Because most of these, well, they didn't all happen in surgery. Some of them happened in recovery, but
Mhm.
in patient rooms. But it appeared that perhaps he was setting some of the other anesthesiologists up by
Wow.
messing up their procedures.
As someone who just had surgery, that's terrifying.
It is terrifying. Yeah.
Wow.
Like, I don't think we really have a serial killer on our hands. That it's not, he only killed one person. Of course, there was lots of attempts. I mean, there were about 12
Mhm.
that they know of right now.
But at least they were right there where life-saving,
Mhm.
um, you know, actions could be taken and, get them to a hospital quickly and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yikes.
Yeah. So, we will keep an eye on this case and watch it march through the courts and let you know what's going on with Ray Ortiz, but at least for now, uh Dallas, you can rest easy. He's now in jail and definitely
Good.
won't be working in any kind of medical facility anytime soon.
Good.
Yeah.
At least that's the good news. But oh, just
Yeah.
very sad for all those people that have been through that.
Really sad. Yep. All righty. Well, I'm going to turn the mic back over to you. I think that we have some weird crime.
We sure do. Sometimes when researching for these episodes, you fall down a weird rabbit hole. And that is what happened to me today about chewing gum theft, if you can believe it.
Oh.
Yeah. So there, it turns out, I thought, oh, I'm going to look and see, like, is this the only case? Oh, no. This has happened a bunch of times in more than one country. And I got
What?
to tell you, I'm confused. But let's start with the original case that I found.
Okay.
So, this man in Toronto, this happened back in 2016, and I cannot find where if he was ever caught. So I don't know that he was, but he he walked into a pharmacy kind of store. It's
Mhm.
sort of seems like maybe like a Walgreens or something like that we would have,
Mhm.
and he stole 1,500 worth of chewing gum.
How?
Well, and this, I mean, we gotta, put a little blame on the employees here because how he got away with this and nobody figured it out what he was doing until later, I don't know. But he walked in, he went right to the gum aisle. He opened up a black garbage bag,
What?
filled it up. Yeah, no shit. Filled it up, went out in the front of the store where there was a taxi waiting for him, put that bag in the car, went back in, filled up another black trash bag,
What?
and went out and got in the taxi and zoomed away.
I mean, it was pre-orchestrated and everything for
Right. He
chewing
had a
gum.
getaway car, everything.
Do you think
Also,
that they could have thought he was like a product rep?
maybe, but the black grocery bags, why would he be throwing stuff in? I don't know.
All
My
this gum
questions
is
are,
expired?
where are these employees and how is this store laid out? Because you couldn't get away with that in a store like the ones we have because you would have to walk past the checkouts to get out the
Mhm.
door.
Yeah.
So I do not know. I will tell you that he has a hashtag. It's called it's hashtag fresh breath bandit. And the public was asked to use that if they had any information about who this person might be. As far as I can tell, he was never caught. So I went
Wow.
looking like, okay, was he ever caught or like what the hell? No, he was not caught. But it turns out that yeah, this is a thing. And they think that people do it and then they go like resell it somewhere. I don't know.
Weird?
Well, here are some teen boys. This is in the UK, in Gloucestershire. They stole three 30,000 pounds worth of chewing gum, like in money. This they
Oh, thanks for clearing that up. I was trying to decide, how did they
wait.
lift all that
Right. How did they lift all that gum? No, you know what they did? They cut a hole in the side of a Wrigley's truck and loaded up boxes of gum out of the truck while the driver was having a little nap in the middle of the night.
What?
30,000 pounds, which is like $36,000 worth of gum.
Why?
Good question. Don't know. Uh, these kids were caught, and some of them are doing a little time. It's mostly like withheld judgment with probation. This happened around 3 o'clock in the morning. I also the police showed up as they were, like finishing up their theft. So they did take the police on a bit of a high-speed chase before they were caught because they knew they were really screwed with that much chewing gum.
They didn't have a chance to chew a single stick. I mean,
They didn't they actually the article said that almost all of the gum was recovered. So I don't know if they're like driving and just sticking stick after stick or stick. They're chewing these huge gobs of gum while they're
they're
running from the
throwing it out the
cops.
window. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm like,
Wow.
there can't be more than one of these stories. Oh yeah, or more than two. Here we go. This is also in Canada. There's a pair, a man and a woman, who are they call them gum bandits.
More of
Um,
this.
yeah, it's like an organized retail theft scheme. They wear
Oh.
they wear disguises
Uh-huh.
and they hit all different kinds of stores. They do steal a few other things, but it's mostly gum. And police think that
I am blown
they're
away.
selling it somewhere, and they're still on the run as well. I think there are actually others, but those were the three dude, I don't know. Maybe they need to start putting gum behind the locked cases,
I
like the
guess so.
condoms in the
I was
pharmacy.
gonna say the gum and the condoms. Yep.
I had no clue. Like, why why would you want $36,000 worth of gum? I guess you're going to go sell it somewhere. Is there a
Must
black
be.
market for Wrigley's that I don't know about? I don't know.
Are they just on Amazon? Like,
Maybe
I
cutting Wrigley's prices.
right.
Just
Wrigley's
so
like,
weird.
Wrigley's going, how can that seller afford to sell that gum so cheap? Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Remember that truck that got the hole cut in it in the middle of the night? Yeah. So there
Wild.
you go. There you go.
Well, thank you, I guess. All righty. Well, it's Monday. So we'll
Yeah.
be back tomorrow with another episode. We'll be back Wednesday with another brand new episode. We'll be back Wednesday night for case updates. And then also on Wednesday night will be the cold read party right
Yes.
after case updates. So we still have so much more to come this week.
We
So
really
hang
do.
out. Like, share, follow, subscribe, you know the ropes. Also,
Okay.
come check us out on Patreon. We have a lot more content over there as well,
Yes,
including
we
a brand
do.
new episode. And it's a
Mm-hmm.
really interesting one.
Oh,
So come check it out. Well, there you have it. This has been yet another production of the True Crime Squad. Take care.
bye, everybody. Hang on to your gum.